you, the Messiah. No offense, Perdre, but that has got to be the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Why not me?
Have you met yourself? Perdre, you drink, you fight, you like to break people's arms just to hear the sounds they make.
Howdy, pilgrims, and thanks for tuning in to Season 4 of Preacher vs. Preacher. We're back. We're still doing it. It's a comparison companion. Each week, we get together. We recap AMC's series Preacher, directly compared to the comics it's based on, when we can. That's a book by Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon. I'm Bill Sweeney. You might know me from the Wicked Theory podcast. If you don't, that's fine. You know me from this one. I'm joined this week, as we have a few times in this past run, by my buddy Ed from the DC TV Report podcast.
Yes. It's Lil Eddie now.
Well, technically, you can follow him on Twitter as Lil.
Yes.
Lil, Lil Eddie.
Lil Eddie O'Hare.
Lil Eddie O'Hare, that's the handle, right?
Yes, that's the handle.
That's the handle. I like it.
Yeah.
Big changes.
Mm-hmm.
A foot. Changes or a foot.
Mm-hmm. It's just a name, bro.
It's just a name, bro. Let it go.
And I just saw a lot of things I wish I hadn't.
Wow. Oh, yeah? You feeling a little mixed on this week's Preacher?
Oh, there's a lot of graphic stuff.
There is some stuff in there, boy.
Which is mostly from the comics.
Well, here and there.
Well, the stuff that I found objectionable.
the stuff that was hardest to watch, oddly enough. So, official business real quick. You can follow Ed as Little Eddie O'Hare on Twitter. You can follow me under Wicked Theory. You can follow this show as Preach vs. Preach on the Twitters. I forget every time that ends with a hard end, and I try to fade it out, and I always miss it, and it throws me off.
That's okay.
Therefore, I have to mention it. You can email us if you want to, but time is running out. There is only 2 more episodes left to go. PvP@wickedtheory.com. PvP@wickedtheory.com. I don't know what town that accent was from. .com.
.com.
Yeah. What does that feel like?
.com. I don't know.
.com. Wickedtheory.com. It sounds some kind of southern. All right, so I mean, let's just get into it. Let's keep these things rolling. The spoiler warning. For some reason, if this is the first time you've listened to us, we go spoiler. Obviously, for the show, we're doing a recap, but we do a book comparison. So if you haven't read the books yet, this is where we get into, just randomly, whenever it suits us, pointing out what's like the book, what's not, what's changed, and what we think about that as we go.
Yeah.
Sounds about right, Ed?
Yes, that sounds right.
All right. Also, we've got a bell for whenever something from the book is new and introduced into the show. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, we ring that bell. And I think that's it. So let's ring the church bell and just get into it. This episode is, what was the title of this one?
Fear of the Lord.
Fear of the Lord. Who doesn't have that? A little fear of God. All right. Well, this one picks up with a cave.
Yes.
Which they kind of did a little tease. I thought, as well as you did, that it was going to be another history lesson of some kind.
Yeah, I thought we were going back to caveman days.
We were going back. I kind of noticed that there was a grungy flannel shirt, so I was like, and
the lantern. That was the thing that gave it away from me. There was a lantern.
Fair enough.
In the corner.
So we get a close-up of these guys working on something. You can hear some mechanical noises. And then we get a close-up of a spigot. Yeah, and it's attached to Starr's body. It's replaced his penis, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we get that, and then we see Starr, and he's kind of coming in and out of it. We shift real quick into a dream sequence.
Well, I think that may have been a flashback to Germany, 1979.
Yeah, they definitely throw up the 1979 card.
Yes.
So it's a combo because he's in it as current day version Starr.
Well, I think I actually think that he's always looked like that.
he's always
Yes.
looked old.
He always looked old for his age.
A little tall for his age.
But yes, we see a young boy singing in German.
Yeah.
And we think, is this the young Herr Starr?
I was thinking, is that a young German Frank Sinatra?
Oh.
Because he's singing, I did it mine way.
Yes. And he steps back, and we realize that this is the finals of the little Mr. Dusseldorf competition.
Which, now that I know, I'll have to kind of look into and check out past winners.
Yeah, and they announced this. The winner is Klaus Starr.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Klaus Starr.
4
years in a row.
4 years in a row. That kid.
Yeah.
He's talented.
Yeah, and it's not the boy we saw singing. It's
No,
it's Herr Starr, and like you said, it's
Yeah.
the same actor, but with what would
Dutch,
you call?
I don't know, a Dutch boy blonde wig?
Yeah.
What-
But it's that distinct late 70s hairstyle
Yeah.
where it's kind of like shoulder length and the ends like curls up.
I don't know if you remember Cousin Oliver from the Brady Bunch.
Yes.
But it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those haircuts that looks better on a little girl than a little boy.
Yes.
It seems more fitting. So to speed that up, that kid that was singing and a bunch of other boys corner Star in the bathroom, and we see them cut him up basically because they're all tired of his bullshit.
Yeah.
They're all tired of coming in third and second and first every fucking year, or him coming in first rather. So they start chanting "Star for a Star," and he wakes up out of the dream.
Yeah.
And he meets.
Well, we realize that's how he got his eye.
Yeah, fair enough.
his eye
That's
got
we're supposed to take that. That's how he lost his eye. He wakes up. He screams, "Oh, my beauty, my eye!" And then he meets the Chunt brothers, which got to give it a bell.
Yeah.
Gotta give it a bell. I mean, straight from the book, and they might be the most consistent three characters compared to the books.
Yes.
That's ever been on this show.
Yeah, it's Carl, Ernie, and Cyrus.
Yeah. And all the important stuff is there. You know what I mean? They are cave dwelling, weird hicks. They snaggly teeth and all, but what's important is that he's just woken up. Let's get some food in you. Let's we're going to nurse you back to health. Sorry about the spigot, but we did what we could do. It's a nice spigot.
We saved everything we could.
Yeah.
Which was nothing.
Right. Exactly. Which was, and so as they're eating, he happens to notice, oh shit, my leg is gone. And then it's, oh shit, my leg is on a rotisserie across the room, and we're eating my leg. We're all eating my leg.
Yes.
Which they say is that, hey man, look, we gave you first bowl. We tried to do the right thing. we were trying to be nice about it, and that's really not enough for him. He's a little pissed about it. So he goes into the whole thing of you guys have fucked with the wrong guy. My crew's going to be here any minute. And then they actually are. It's actually like the cue for Featherstone to come in and put bullets in each of them. Thankfully,
right before thaw time.
Yeah, because that's a big cut of meat right there, the thigh.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ed. The one thing I had been asking people is what do they want to see?
Yeah.
Because we don't have time for everything. And this was one of yours. This is one of the things you definitely mentioned was meeting the Chunt brothers.
Yes.
Seeing if we were going to get to that on screen. And boy, did we.
Yeah.
They lived up to it. Probably, like I was saying, pound for pound, the best, most consistent adaptation.
Yes.
Of a group of characters or, any B-side stuff. The least tweaked. I mean, if anything, it's a condensed version because Starr spends a little bit of time with them, but it's not like a lot of pages.
It may have been an issue. It was they had a very they're very memorable, of course.
Yes,
but it is a very brief appearance.
Right. He turns on them pretty quick.
Yeah.
But he gets himself out of there in the book, right?
Yes.
Right. He's not rescued. He gets himself out. All right. Well, that's how that goes, and that pretty much opens up the show. When we come back, we got a scene with Jessie. Fiora is still trying to convince him to take the throne of God.
Yes.
And Jessie's still not going to do it.
Nope.
So he's like, well, you might as well just put me back in that hell cell and keep me on that loop, that film strip of watching my daddy die. And he's like, well, that time is past.
Ugh.
Fiora tells him. And we cut to this thing of ants crawling up a hose.
Yeah, it's like a plastic tube.
Yeah, like a nice clear plastic tube. And then that goes up into a cage, but into his butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. This fucking show. And so he's just, pretty much confined in the cage. His hands are cuffed, and he's just kind of, that's his, at this stage anyway, that's his torture, his hell torture. Which is an interesting one.
Yeah, it's creative.
Yeah, and they were coming out of his nose. I realized on the rewatch when you came over, is that that's a nice touch that they're crawling out of his nose because they're making their way through him. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out of hell if I can.
Jesus.
I'm sorry to tell you, Ed, but if it comes between you and me going to hell.
Why would it?
I don't know, but I'm just saying because you're here. If somebody else was here, I would say this to them. I'm just saying, like if it comes between me and anybody or anything.
But why would it? Why would there be a choice between two people? Isn't it just a pass fail?
Well, I don't know. With this show, you would think it's supposed to be as we'll see later on. You think it's an easy test, but all these tests are really trick questions. It's not. It's that trick question quiz that they give you, where the first thing that it says is follow all the directions.
Yes.
The second thing it says is don't write on this page, and then the third thing it says is put your name at the top. And how many people put their name at the top?
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. Okay, so back to it. We cut to Tulip and Cassidy and Humperdoo, the new Trinity.
Yeah,
the new trio of the show. And it's raining. They're driving still. Tulip pulls it over, and she puts the gun on Humperdoo's head, basically. She's screaming at the sky. She wants God to come down. She knows that Humperdoo is the chosen one for him, and this will bring God down. This will, no matter how long it takes, we're going to stay here, and we're going to wait until God comes down.
Yeah.
Fast forward 3 months later.
Yep.
What?
3 months later. Well, and to be fair, there is a patch in the books after Jessie's
supposed demise.
Yeah, supposed demise, where Cassidy and Tulip run off with each other for 3 months.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
And
this is a very different outcome.
This is a very different version.
Yes.
As we'll see later on, too, as it continues. But, like, in the book, it's a fucked up period. It's a period where Cassidy's kind of keeping her high and strung out and more or less taking advantage of the situation. And he's being the slime ball piece of shit that, like, he tends to be in the book much more here than here in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, if anything, the show was doing a thing with Cassidy where, like, he used to have this life of being a shit. And now with these three, he's found this other kind of path for himself where I don't have to fuck over everybody, I guess. Which is nice, I guess. It's, if we're going to be nice about everything. But, not quite the book. But I'll give it a bell. I'll give it a bell for skipping 3 months.
Okay.
And it's just them living without Jessie because it's integral to keeping it moving.
Yes.
The overall thing. But kind of felt like they were never really going to give us that. Kind of knew they were never going to give us the dark turn of Cassidy. You know what I mean?
We still got 2 episodes left.
Jeez, could you imagine? If they turn him now, people who only know the show will really hate.
Yeah.
Really hate it. People are like, this doesn't make any sense. I love Cassidy. It's like, vampires are supposed to be bad. Remember that. They used to be evil. Now we love all the villains in this world.
But I mean, they still have Tulip still has a plan. And she's carrying out. She has Humperdoo walking around with that C4 vest.
Yeah, and they have this whole contingency kind of plan.
Go to the moon.
Go to the moon. Moon, I gotta go to the moon. And he runs outside and puts himself in an old refrigerator, which I guess is, he's supposed to run out there. We trigger the explosive vest, and the refrigerator kind of keeps his explosion contained a little,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't kill us per se, Tulip and Cass, but it does, finish him off.
Yes.
Because if we can't have him, no one will have him. Because they're just biding time. They're just spending their months there, just biding time. They figure, I guess, that Starr is going to pop up at some point.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's where we jump to. We're 3 months later.
Yeah, we go that, and then we go quickly down below, and we see that the ants. Jesse's moved on from the ants, and he's just wading through fire.
Yeah, he's just kind of like on fire, spinning around.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
But it's brief. So we jump right to commercial. We come back, Jesus and Hitler hanging out, trying to figure it out. Hitler's trying to really bamboozle the old Jesus. But Jesus' goodness always shines through.
Yeah.
Like, he's just not really going to fall for it. And basically, Hitler is trying to convince him that they're on the same page,
Yeah.
It's a little bit of wordplay-ish kind of thing. But Jesus isn't buying it.
The right thing.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like,
right-
yeah. We just, because what's going on is that they both think the right thing is what they think is the thing to do.
Yeah.
But they think different things.
Yes.
But Starr enters with a squeaky leg. Because it's been replaced. This is 3 months later, remember. Starr's like, cut the bullshit. We failed. We have no Messiah. We have no apocalypse coming. He's a real downer at this point.
Yeah.
He's kind of done with it.
Yeah, he's even his beard's grown out.
Yeah. Well, expecting him, I was probably seeing him walking in jogging pants, like, you know what I mean? Kind of like just bumming it, like after a harsh breakup. But Hitler's like, look. We have the original. We don't really need a Humperdoo or the clones or any of that stuff. I mean, why don't we? What? Let us show you something real quick. Yeah. Something me and Jesus here have been working on. Hit it, and then it's a breakdancing scene. Like,
now, what is that song? Because that is a song I've heard before.
It's "Tricky" by Run DMC.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a classic, baby. It's time to rock around the clock. It's tricky. Yeah, classic. Throws him the Kango, pulls off the robe. He's got the mat, the running track suit kind of thing. He's doing windmills. He's spinning on his head.
Yeah.
And as I would have predicted,
spins on his head in slow motion, which was very impressive.
Well, we had to see that it was actually him for that one shot.
Yeah,
because the rest of that was not that dude. But as predictable, I think Starr was not impressed.
No.
This isn't going to do, because you know what? God doesn't want Jesus. God wants Humperdoo. That's what's going to make this work. And that's why we kind of leave it as we jump back to Tulip and Cassidy. Now, they're searching in the woods for Humperdoo because Cassidy misplaced him a little bit.
I don't like it when he watches me pee.
You know what I mean? He probably wants to get involved a little bit.
Dixon wants to play.
He's so they're wandering in the woods near this house they've been staying in, and they find him, and he's kind of chilling with two deer.
Yeah. Two little does.
And just having a nice little pleasant time. And what you really kind of get from this scene is an echo of the first scene, where the three of them doing their little happy homemaker setup, which we kind of skipped over a little bit when we covered the 3 months jump, is that, the three of them now are like a little unit, and it's like getting the firewood, and Cassidy's kind of having like these cute moments with him, and Tulip's just all business, like, listen, this isn't, so this scene echoes that, where it's like, as Cassidy and Humperdoo walk off, you can see on Tulip that, like, this is not kind of working, and Cassidy's getting attached a little bit.
Yeah.
So, basically that's kind of what we get real quick with that. It felt like a little bit of a throwaway scene, for a show that's wrapping things up. It felt a little bit of a throwaway. A more interesting scene is the next one with Herr Starr.
Okay. You talk about this, because I'm trying to forget that I saw this happen.
This whole thing starts out difficult. Herr Starr enters the scene He's alone. He's naked except for a sash.
It's the same sash that he won
as a kid
for little Mr. Dusseldorf.
Well, fair enough. He may not have been a kid. Who knows? Right? He may not have even been a kid. It might have been before the story started. But he's wearing just the sash. He's got his nipple chain on, his spigot, the whole bit. The steel Dr. Doom half leg. It's all difficult to look at. Basically, he tries to hang himself. You know what I mean? He uses the sash to make a makeshift noose. But when he kind of kicks himself off the table, it snags on the nipple chain, and then also undoes itself so that when he falls all the way to the floor, the nipples chain just rip his nipples off. Yeah. I just want to say, good props, good work. Props to the props on that, because the nipple meat hanging from the chains was fairly convincing. Oh my god. Yeah, it was pretty gross, but
make it stop.
Yeah, really. The whole fucking sequence. So he falls to the floor. His spigot, I don't know if it's broken or not, but there's piss everywhere. He's bleeding, and this was a good time for God to come along and be like, "Hey, how you doing? You all right?" I thought he was going to be a little more sarcastic and harsh, but
well, I mean, he's standing over. I'm so disappointed.
This is kind of your fault,
and he's just Herr Starr just grovels. I'm just so sorry. I lost him. I have no idea where to find him. I don't know what to do.
And he's like, well, you never asked me. Which is like a typical kind of only God would say that. I would have told you. You just never asked the right question.
Isn't that like a Wolverine move?
It's, you know what it is? It's the asshole sage.
Yeah.
Like in every fucking thing, it's like, oh, I have all the answers. You just have not asked the right questions, my grasshopper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you could just fucking teach.
Mm-hmm.
You could just fucking inform.
Mm-hmm.
But, some of these guys really want to make you work for it.
You ever been on that project where you're doing some lashings, or you're trying to make a tripod or something, and then someone who's been doing it, your troop leader who's been doing it for 40 years, comes up and sees that you have no idea what you're doing,
right?
And you give him a look like help, and then they just stand back and go, "No, you go ahead. I want to see this."
No, let's go. All right, unfold it. You know what I mean? Let's, set it up. Go ahead. No. Okay. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it fell. Okay, let me know how the next one is. All right. Okay. Did you figure out why that didn't work?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, thanks, man. Thanks. I know.
Yeah.
The only way to appreciate things is to learn the hard way. That's what some of these old schoolers tell you. But that's basically what God's kind of like. Basically, God's being a dick, But tell him, bring me my boy, bring him home. You know what I mean? So I think what it is that God finally tells him where he can find him.
Yes.
Or leads him to him anyway. We cut back to Jessie. He's in a barrel with some rats, which is really tight and confined, but didn't seem like they were doing much to him. We didn't see that. They're just crawling on him.
You know what a rat can do?
Yeah, but they're not. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing anything.
No,
we didn't see them bite him at all. We didn't see him get sick.
You don't see that, but that's you didn't see the inside of that barrel. They were probably chewing him up.
Well, that's the implication, but that's the thing. I'm surprised on this show we just didn't see them actually do anything. That's my thing. They spent a lot of time to get the camera super close and make you feel like you're in the barrel with him, but we didn't see the mice just. That's what I'm just saying. We just didn't really see them do anything to him besides crawl around. But it falls over. He spills out. Basically the Santa Kilos comes and rescues him.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming? Not me.
And this feels like something from the books. This feels like a conversation that Jessie and the Santa Killers had.
Well, you know what? They have only one or two conversations in the book. Mm-hmm. And I keep feeling like these times where they do now hook up once in a while, that we're going to have that conversation, or they're going to allude to like what becomes like their plan.
Yeah.
I still don't feel like we've gotten that.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you?
Well, I mean, it felt like definitely like there was an understanding, and
the relationship has changed.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where like you think, okay, now we're gonna ride off into the sunset and figure out how to kill God. And,
right. And then be like Brokeback Mountain and shit.
Yeah. No, and instead, the Santa Killers turns the table and says, "No, you better sit on that fucking throne."
Right, and it turns out it was more fucking shenanigans from Fior. Like, just them trying to just be more convincing with the scenes. You know, I was like, well, I feel like we're spinning the wheels there a little bit. Now that once you reveal that, I was like, oh, I thought we were getting a real scene with him and Santa Killers. But turns out it wasn't. So it doesn't even count towards, did they have any kind of, you know what I mean? I just realized it now. Kind of talking it through, but
you think that whole thing was fabricated?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking like him, you know, because when they come back, Fiora says, you know, how many ants up a hose do we have to, give you, before you just realize this is the right thing to do. So, they put him in hell and break him out, probably with the idea of, we fabricate this so that. Maybe he'll listen to the Santa Killers, and Jessie kind of reveals that, oh, you're pretty talkative. This is the most you've ever spoke to me.
Ah, okay.
And that's, now that I'm thinking it through, and that's, I guess, where it all kind of starts to break apart, right? Because then the next thing is Saint being like, you better sit down on that chair!
Yeah.
And then they reveal themselves. But Fior's men grab him.
Yes, the Angel Warriors.
And he's like, put him on the throne. And just as he's about to touch it, we cut to the dirt. And God says, Jessie, leave.
Yeah,
and he comes back to life.
Yeah, he crawls out of his grave.
Which was, I think, a thing of God being like, I'm not letting you sit on the throne.
Yeah.
Like, that was what that was. You know what I mean? Of God, like, shit. They're going to put him on it. Fuck. If they put him on it, then we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jessie rises from the dirt, comes back from the dead, and I'll give it a bell.
Yeah.
It happens. It's from the book. It's important.
Yeah.
But we go next to Starr and Featherstone.
Yeah.
Rappelling down some rope from a helicopter, which we don't have to see because we're saving on budget. Just rope from the sky. And basically, we're getting ready for a raid. She says, oh, it's just about dinner time. And then we cut to the inside of that house Tulip, Cass, and the Dew are at, and they're about to eat.
Yeah, she's serving burgers of some type.
With blueberries.
Yeah, with blueberries. And, and,
I bet you there was a conversation. Do we do blueberries or blueberries? Because of the blueberry cereal, she was always that old joke. Like, not a lot of running gags in this season, from earlier on. But what were you gonna say?
No. She basically, Cassidy tries to be nice, like, oh yeah, no, it's good. And then Humperdoo just projectile vomits.
Ooh,
and,
yeah. And quite a bit. And then Cassidy projectile vomits.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, that seems a little off.
Yeah.
And then
I'm like, we are definitely getting into vomitorium.
Yeah, and then Tulip peeks outside and sees a giant
sonic nauseator
machine that says sonic nauseator on it.
Yeah, which is real technology.
Yeah,
which is the crazy thing. So that's one way to put a guy down.
That's one way.
That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. So she realizes something's up. She's like, "It's go to the moon time. Go to the moon. Go to the moon to Humperdoo," which is the signal. So he starts freaking out.
Problem is, Cassidy is the one with the detonator.
Yeah,
and he can't do it.
No, he won't be able to do it. Tulip vomits too. That's the thing that happens. It turns into a little bit of a gross comedy.
Yeah.
Because she vomits. Cassidy comes over, slips in the vomit. Basically, they're all held up. The squad goes after Humperdoo. Like you said, Cassidy can't flip the switch, which is we kind of see coming because he's all like, it's like that's my boy now.
Yeah.
But they take him away. They he's in that refrigerator. They put some clamps on it. They luckily have that helicopter we don't see, and then just carry him off.
Yeah.
Carry him off.
Yeah, but by the time Tulip is ready, she tries the detonator, and he's too far away for the signal to reach.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be, did you change the fucking batteries? And he's going to be like, I haven't changed them in months or something like that, because he felt, like subconsciously in the back of his head, kind of gave himself like a forced way out. But she's like, now the two of them are left behind, and it's like, well, now what do we do? And they both kind of like know that they have to go get him.
Yeah.
And so, but he's like, all right, but are we doing it to go save him or kill him? Which is a fair question. Then we cut to Jessie.
Yeah.
Walking alone in the desert.
In the outback. It's
nice. It's nice visual. Nice cinematography on it.
Yeah. Beautiful shot.
God's RV in the distance. Jessie doesn't know what it is, but it's coming. God gets out, and basically the conversation is, it was all a test. I passed. I did the right thing.
Well, that's what Jessie immediately just like grovels at his knees.
Yeah, he's like,
he's
I did it. I did it for you. I did all the good stuff. I did it right. I didn't take the throne. I resisted the temptation or whatever. And this God, because he's a dick. He's like, you came close. You were so close, my son. But you were tempted. So therefore you sinned. Even if you refused the temptation, it doesn't matter. You had the temptation. Yeah. And by having it, even unwillingly as it does happen, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Because you're a fragile being made in my image. It's all this stuff. And Jesse's not having it. He's like, But you made us like this, like you now you want to, like, it feels like a test I couldn't pass anyway. And he's like, well, he's like, kinda. So with that,
that reminds me of an old George Carlin bit talking about it's a sin just to wanna, you gotta wanna. And wanting was a sin on its own. If you thought about taking the train to 42nd Street and finding a girl and copying a feel, save your car fare, you did it.
Right. Don't bother. You're already guilty. You might as well not go now. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's the great loophole with sin. Like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, that's off the album Class Clown.
Class Clown.
Interested.
Find it at a CD or record store near you. So they get into it. God's like, check this out. And just chews his eye out of Jesse's fucking head, which is from the book. Does God chomp it out in the book? I know he takes it out, rips it out of his head or something.
Well, this is
a point where we gotta look in the book.
Yeah. Well, I think this is also like we should have done this before we started recording,
so we knew where things were in the book stuff. Yeah, that's probably a good point. That's probably a good point.
Well, doesn't he lose his eye before salvation?
Yeah,
I feel like he shows up in salvation without an eye.
Well, he does, but I mean, I'm probably looking in the wrong books out of order. Well, I'm in the last book. That's why you said that. You probably should have just said that. All hells are coming. I don't know. I ain't got it in front of me. We don't get that deep on it. But either way, God takes the fucking eye. Yeah. And it was pretty cool. Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Also pretty brutal.
Pretty brutal. And God's got like his muzzle full of blood. And he's like, look, whatever. You got stuff. You still have a role to play. So I'm not killing you. See you at the apocalypse and bring your friends. Yeah. So, all right. We know where Jesse's going. So God snaps his fingers. The whole world turns upside down, spins around. And I think that indicates that Jesse's now stateside. in proximity to Jessie, Tulip, and Cass.
He sends him to where Tulip and Cassidy are.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I just said it longer. I'm sorry. I didn't abbreviate.
Well, because they're not stateside anymore, as we'll find out later.
Oh, that's right. That's true. That's true. That's true. Then we basically we go to Starr.
Grail. It's huge crowds. Everyone's cheering.
There's an ovation going on.
Yeah.
People couldn't be more excited. As we see, the Starr has returned with Humperdoo, and Starr is beautiful.
Yeah, he's got his hair back.
He's got his hair back. His eye is good.
Yeah.
He's got top to bottom. He's been healed because he made good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're asking me, I don't think he finished the deal. I think he has Humperdoo in possession.
Well, I think that was all God asked for.
Oh yeah, just get him back.
Just bring him back.
I guess maybe okay.
And we're good.
And we're good. Everything else will fall into place after that, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Now this is not in the books.
Right.
Herr Starr does not get that.
No. But I feel like this show is not going to let him keep it either.
Well, we'll see.
Well, that's true. We'll see. Who knows with the show? But, in the spirit of the book, it is about him constantly getting fucked over kind of by fate and these events. So I can't imagine that he stays with that long blonde hair. I just have to shake my head when I say it. But, I guess we'll see how it goes. But they've got Humperdoo back. So everything's going to be all right. And we've got an air date now for the apocalypse.
Yes.
Which is the most important thing. Is like we know when it's going to happen. It's like, okay. We cut to Tulip and Cassidy as we replay now the scene that we saw earlier in the season.
Yeah, in the beginning of the premiere.
Yes, where they're in a hotel just together. Well, it looked like a hotel.
Yeah, we find out it's the Holy Barn Grail.
Right. And which is hurting my head. Like, when did they go back there? How? What? You know what I mean?
Well,
what am I missing?
No, they've got to go get Humperdoo. Humperdoo's at Masada. So.
Oh right, yeah. So they're back.
Yeah,
they just didn't show us anything at all of them traveling.
They got to get there.
Yeah, but I kind of was losing track of what that meant.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fine. It's a cartoon show.
Yeah, Cassidy starts telling the story about Patrick and Murphy,
right?
And then they kiss.
And then they kiss. And then they bang. And then we cut to a prison. Because the guitar music that was coming in over as these two are making out, we transition to a guy who's playing guitar. We kind of don't realize it's a prison right away. He's wearing sweats. But then these couple of guys are like, hey, we're going to fucking cut you to fuck up. Shouldn't have fucking disrespected the man like that. And they fucking stabbed the fuck out of this guy.
Yeah. I felt like it was Breaking Bad again. It was real.
It felt like actually to me it felt a little bit like Patriot from fucking Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Because it does a lot of that kind of shit where like you don't even know who the fuck this guy is, but we're gonna frame it in an oddly ironic and comical way. And then have somebody walk into frame like that, and like how Arseface does it.
Yeah. Well, I love the composed shot, and it's a static shot. You see them. There's a nice quick shiv.
Yeah.
And sometimes
a lot of shiving.
Yeah.
A lot of shiving.
But it ends quickly.
Yeah. It's a flurry, but it's over.
Yeah.
Drops his guitar.
Yeah. Drops his guitar, and those two guys just walk off, and then we just see Eugene walk into frame and go, "What the heck, guys?"
Well, come on, can't we have anything nice in this place? And so I watched it with the even though they give you Arseface's text, I watched it with the captions on. So what you may not have heard is that he got stabbed because he disrespected Eric Clapton. Because as a guy walks over, goes, "Clapton is God," and like that's Like the intonement of why he got stabbed up. He insulted Eric Clapton. Who knew that he was so big in Australia?
Yeah.
And over the loudspeakers, they're making announcements like, "Oh, pedophiles! Attention, pedophiles!"
I did hear that part.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's like okay,
please report to
some front desk
yeah.
or something. So just like an establishing shot that R's face picks up the guitar.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of strumming,
a little strum and a little tune, and we cut away, which I feel like implies so much. I feel like I'm gonna get my musician R's face. I can't wait to see what song they have him sing. I just hope it's got a lot of S's. Oh man. Yeah, I don't think they'll get the rights to any Nirvana stuff.
No?
No. Although I was surprised they got My Way in this. I'm like, somebody is just giving up the rights to that stuff left and right. Mm-hmm. No one's watching the Frank Sinatra fucking family.
I mean, those see, because Sinatra sings standards.
Is that a standard? It's not like it's something he wrote, like his own?
Well, I mean, I don't think Sinatra wrote any of his songs.
Yeah, so somebody else has got the original rights to that, you think?
Any singers from, going back to like the 40s, 50s.
The crooners?
Yeah. I mean, the Great American Songbook, like all those songs, like everyone sings them. Like,
right,
pretty much, except for like My Way or New York, New York.
Sure.
Almost anything that Sinatra sings, Tony Bennett also sings. So
hey, baby, don't bring Tony into this, okay, baby? Look,
or Paul Anka or Steve Lawrence.
Listen, let's not talk about the bottom feeders, all right? You named the top two.
Hey.
We're good. Hey. Well, no love for Paul Anka? All right.
And when I hit, I slice like a fucking hammer. You've never heard that video?
I think so. What is that from?
That's from... Someone pulled an audio clip of him screaming at his band.
Oh, okay. And when I hit, I sliced like
What's
a hammer.
with the T-shirts?
Oh, because they're all like kind of half-assing it.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up. We'll look it up after the show.
Yes, we will.
Shit, now I have to. All right. Anyway, we get all that stuff, and then basically we got one last scene.
Yeah.
Which is Tulip and Cassidy. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like after the sex. It's like the next morning or whatever. And she's like, I feel okay about it. And Cassidy obviously does too. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, this is all right. This doesn't feel too weird.
They're just exchanging smiles.
Yeah, this is okay. We're not lovey-dovey, and it's not like super awkward. Mm-hmm. This is okay. So, fuck. The fucking door. And then he's like, man, I told you I'd help you hide the bodies tomorrow. Cassidy. He's talking to that guy that was always helping him over there. And then they open it up, and it's Jessie. Yeah. But he don't look so good.
No.
He's got a homemade eye patch.
Yeah.
Out of a rag. He's dirty. He's bloody. He's obviously seen better days. Mm-hmm. But now he sees all his days with one eye.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it is. He sees Tulip. He gives her a hug. Cassie in the background. Like, at first he's a little dejected, but then he lets out a slight, like, I can't believe it. Mm-hmm. I can't believe it. Like, almost like I can't do a full read because it goes a couple different ways, but is that like a, my man, like, like he came back? Or is it just like, this is some crazy shit? Is it like, I was so close to having her for me forever, kind of a thing, but it is like a wistfully kind of laugh. Like this is wild, and that's where it ends.
Yeah,
what a nutty episode.
So I guess we're going to the apocalypse.
Party's on. 2 episodes. We've got some apocalyptic stuff to do.
So we have an air date. Do we have a venue?
Yeah, that's a real question. Right? Because we haven't heard anything mentioned. Mm-hmm. There's enough desert-related stuff in the book between Monument Valley, and the Alamo as locations.
Yeah.
That, conservatively, since obviously travel doesn't matter on this fucking show, we can get anywhere in the blink of an eye. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter that they're half a world away in Australia. But the fact that they're back in Australia does make me think that they might be responsible for getting our face out. What do you got? You're putting some stuff together. I see the wheels spinning. I think I might hear some grinding.
What if
Yes.
Eugene is meant to use that guitar to play the song that Humperdoo dances to that brings about the apocalypse?
Wow. Now the song really matters.
Yeah.
Because is it going to be like that same tune, but just on guitar now? That same goofy fucking... Or is it going to be something else? And maybe that's what triggers it somehow? Like, Arseface is playing some other song, and this new song makes Humperdoo dance to it?
Or maybe...
And it's not the right song? But then again, the song really isn't magic in and of itself.
No. Or maybe Eugene... There's something special about Eugene because he's escaped hell. That he can play the guitar that cancels it out, and he's the one that saves the day.
As bullshit, hokey, fucking no, don't do it, as that sounds, that's probable on this show, like on the way they fucking rework shit.
I'm just saying, we've got one guy who we know has some kind of connection to music, who's picking up a guitar.
Yeah, no.
And you know, the main crux of Humperdoo is his dancing ability, and that's
because that's the thing that we still don't know really too either. Like in this show, how are they planning this triggering of the apocalypse to go down? Why does Humperdoo matter so much, like, to it? Is he just supposed to be the Christ figure in the aftermath? And then, like, you know, why, you know, why, God? Why do you want him so bad? We still don't really know. It's my favorite. I think he's the good one. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I think it's just pure of heartness.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I don't have to worry about you at all. And then again, you know, God's plan is that once this apocalypse thing goes down, he's going to wipe everybody out and start life over at some level, I guess is his plan, right? Because that's what we've seen hinted at, and he kind of mentions again. But as far as, like, how and why.
Don't forget his third creation.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like, you know, we saw him putting feathers on a octopus leg, basically. When I was watching that previously on, I got a better look at it. That's gross. I'm just gonna say that. But I don't need flying squid. You know, it is a question of how could they possibly tie those two together. That's a good theory. I like it. It's better than anything I got right now. Because this show's got me so in a fucking twist, I can't see which way it's going.
You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here, folks. Ed might be right. I don't know. You know, give us your finale theories. Put them on the Twitter, you know, and tag us in it.
Yeah.
Preach vs. Preach. Or put it as a response to one of the tweets we put out for this episode, something like that, if you want. I'm running out of steam. I'm running out of steam with ideas of where this is going to go now. I mean, we got all three of them back.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, which things from the book they're going to use to try and wrap this up. You know what I mean? As far as stopping the apocalypse, anyway.
Yeah.
You know, because that gets stopped pretty early in the books. Not for nothing, you know. So I don't know.
What is it going to lead to? What's going to be the? Yeah. I mean, we know Saint of Killers is out there still.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to meet up with Jessie, you know, and they're actually going to have.
You think it ends? You think they'll end it with him on the throne, like it does in the book?
I mean. That seems fitting, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it seems applicable.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I mean, but that's always the risky thing. Where, like, if you know this is the end, and you know you're playing, you know,
because they want to surprise readers too.
Yeah, but like even if you do something that's a bullshit ending, it's not like, you know, you have to worry about getting renewed for next season.
Obviously, this is it.
So, like, there's no incentive to not piss off fans. So
that's true, and not just do what you want to do because you like it. Yeah. They've kind of run with that attitude for most of the show. Yeah, it's like, you know, we'll use what we want to use when we want to use it. Yeah, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
But we'll be watching.
Yeah, we'll be watching. Mm-hmm. All right, so I guess that's my time to cue up the music. We don't have a lot, really, you know, to get into besides breaking it down.
Yeah.
you folks. You know, yeah, I don't know.
You fight.
I got nothing. All right, I got nothing.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Well, I mean, hold on. I'm trying to fucking vamp a little bit.
Oh, okay.
All right, now we got the music.
Good.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Can you hear it? Yeah, you can hear it. All right, folks, listen, it's wrapping up. You can check out Ed every week on the DC TV Report. That's a podcast. You can find it everywhere. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you hear us right now, you can go find the DC TV Report. That's two different words, DC TV. Those are two different words. When you look it up, it helps. And listen to him and Sarah Netzley break down and give you scoop and recaps all in one episode a week of all the DC stuff. They do it all in one spot. You don't need 12 shows because you watch 12 shows.
No.
You just need one podcast to cover it all.
So, like this week, you'll hear us talk about Preacher, but also Pennyworth and Titans.
Yeah.
And everything coming up for the CW shows that are coming back in the fall.
Sounds great, folks. Until the end of the series or until the end of the world, we'll be here.